Yeah, hello. My name is Robert Hyam. I'm English. I've been a Waldorf teacher my whole life. I've been teaching in Germany and Turkey and in Scotland, English for foreign students too. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about my experiences as a Waldorf teacher. It's not perfect, so don't expect anything 100%. I'd like to talk about actually the most important parts, what you have to think about when you're teaching languages. The one part is structuring the lesson. The other part is putting the main emphasis on the things you've got to teach. I'd like to talk about these three things which are, for me personally, very important. The children, when they are there in the lower school, and I'm talking about now classes 1 and 2 and 3, I'm splitting them up. We always talk in German about these three things: getting the children, first of all, involved, which means they're getting to know, they are aware. The other one is they're practicing in a creative way. They're getting acquainted with them, the things you're teaching, and their interest is awakened. And the other one is to discover, when it's all been practiced, very creatively of course, you discover, recognize and realize, and you're knowing all about it, the ability is there and the motivation too. So you can't motivate students and pupils right at the beginning. You have to get their awareness. I'd like to talk about classes 1, 2 and 3 because in the Waldorf school they always put them together, but I usually split classes 1 and 2 and deal with 3 on its own, completely individually. And then I deal with 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 as a kind of a group. What could you say? 1, 2 and 3 is feeling willing. 4, 5 and 6 is more feeling, thinking, and 7 and 8 is thinking and feeling too. Now I'd like to turn to the problem of structuring and dividing the class into a kind of a small main lesson. I structured my classes into 3 parts. The first part is the social part, where everything's done together. It's choral, it's a choir, everybody's chanting and hammering, whatever. The second part is the practice part, very creatively. There's a big interaction, talks and dialogues, whatever you'd like to do there. It's more the interactive part. And the last part, in the lower school anyway, are games and stories. In the middle school, it's more reading and talking about the book you're talking about. Yeah. When we look at the things, now the practice part. This practice part is the most important and the most difficult part to keep lively because the teachers like to avoid it. They don't want to actually do it because it's a difficult part to always vary and make the things you're teaching, to practice them in groups and whatever, singularly, through questions, dialogues, interaction. Whatever you're doing in this practice part, it cannot be a repetition. It has to be something, in a way, new. It's the same material, of course, but you're always enlivening it and enhancing it, whether in small groups, singles, passive, or listening, active. The practice part has to be done very, very carefully so that children don't really know that they're doing this poem again and again and again. The slip-ups. So let's talk about the slip-ups. The slip-ups are is the disbalance and the problem of the happy medium. So if the disbalance happens, the teacher's talking too long, too much, the children are listening too much, there's too much passivity. If the teacher starts to teach individually in solos, he's losing the overview, he's losing the whole class out of his vision. Too much reciting leads to, of course, shouting, in a way screaming too. Yeah, there's too much behavior policy, the disturbances and the disciplines, the distractions from the main lesson you're teaching, the times when nobody speaks, you finish in peace, you manifest it. There's active listening and values of speaking too. So in this avoiding slip-ups, we have to talk about that again, in a way, individually. Yeah,